Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Abigail R. Carmelim bringing you to the news and events from Meghalaya. Here are the headlines for today. Shillong Municipal Board orders relocation of Jayal taxi stand for smart city development. Regional workshop on nutrition for all held at St. Mary's College, Shillong. Workers of abandoned Maumlo cement factory demand government's attention. And non-Gazette Employees Association expresses frustration over 30 months pending salary. And now the news in detail. In a significant move aimed at advancing the city's transformation into a smart city, the authorities overseeing the Shillong Municipal Board have issued a directive to taxi drivers operating from the Jayal taxi stand. Starting September 18, 2023, taxi drivers have been instructed not to park their vehicles at the Jayal taxi stand as this location is slated for demolition. Instead, a new parking facility will be constructed to align with the smart city vision. As a result of this directive, taxi drivers are now required to pick up passengers from designated areas across the roads, typically used by auto rickshaws for boarding passengers heading towards the Meghalaya region. This change in operations has raised concerns among taxi drivers regarding potential traffic congestion at the new pickup points. Nevertheless, the taxi drivers express their trust in the instructions provided by the authorities and are hopeful that the involvement of traffic police will ensure a smooth transition.
Cobangi iba nak liang jong ka municipal deh kelamut ban snai ya kene ka jaka jepikum ki stan motor ki basya yang ni stan mulai ke nadulan no thrai bakin om syasu ipi ba ya yang stan hang ne
kum ke jing batha jing ki ang yalam je kin te nam municipal ya ai jing tip yang ni hawai la khor municipal la ai ki jing tip yang ni ba kan hap man pran ni kan ni dengan kalian jongki hilak khot yang meeting ban an jaka sewepan teh halor kata baru kata dengan shu up tangi kata temen menen kesni hing yo jing tip yang pat ban kalian ka municipal keladu kan khang na ini ke jaka ba ladu la sni mambe ko ni hamban mi na ni ke jaka bang itu yang baru
te sei pak ke jaka ipi ba pinian
na kalian ka municipal ka dor wars nong mokhar sosun hilaya keren bat na po London police station terpin branch hilaya long meeting session hang ne mokhar dan kalian jongki kila ay kini bentang ni nadu ni balak nadu ni bak sendak jung itu terhadu ate hapo ba mi kili jaya sendak ki itu tu kali bantai pesenjar hi kan long ben ate jaka ba mi kili jaya menta dikiwe kali ba apin option ni sedin kalau
jatuh kene kam wanra jing e phi thrai ki driver taxi namar bali kan don ru ka jing den kali thrai
ada kadan be namar kumbalong hi pros kataru kumbalong mening menta kajing bolong hi kadan be kumne hi te ndai baka bolong kalong kita tu jing lak jing ni bayat man gasni dai nak daw hi ka ba nakaliang na traffic kamla man pendiang ki bre te hate pon mar ka tei ka pon ka bolong pai ba ha ya ka ba adu mau yong maulai mau tawar kini jaya ki kali ba haprong na ne ka te hanre tei pa bobun sen judan bre te nakaliang jingir ngi kerpa hi sata je ko lomding diri station man ko ju kran ong ba bo bre lam sa tei ba ban kham yat ka benum kham yat kali kan benum blok palan namar isu sun ngiru hidup kamai ki nong lai nang war ni susun ai isyong kali jongi kano rumpoi kini nai prabaji ki poi cheyo spoje kalau mata tena kalian jengki ki kini pai ke jing ong bom dun bre te sana kalian sarkar bener hajing duna jiki bre te ki bun ki no ki kon samla jeng ka ri ma yo ki ba bendon kam bun jam kita ke hajing sia ke di ban bo kita ma te ki kata bendon bre man kapor kidon kibre makila bukan si phang so daya jana tikles ki haduti nak sabai ngat harai kalau mata te bana kalian jungi hi bang ong man kandom kan blok ikiwe pan halo ke jing aing kini kalan ngat harai kam nomdon hi ke blok namar jaka bangi thet pesenjar kan long hati jaka bakimi kali jaya hal tu belum free bagi jaka te hal tu yo ban te passenger te kan fluid hiru ya kiwai ban kalian jungi rengkap pada basna na loading jering on la nilai kular bangin bu hi ada wibril penyak kali nang ba ka kan ya ba ka kalanjungi kan ya kalanjungi kita bayar running kan ya ba betul.
The Home Science Department of St. Mary's College, Shillong, mark a significant milestone today by organizing the first regional workshop on the theme, Nutrition for All, Together Towards a Healthy India. The event took place in the college auditorium and was attended by distinguished guests and participants. Among the notable attendees was Dr. Jamino Mauthaw, the former MLA. Among the notable attendees was Dr. Jamino Mauthaw, the former MLA of Nong Thamai constituency and an associate professor in adult and continuing education at Nehu, Shillong, who graced the occasion along with Sister Shemlang Mary Thankyou, principal in charge of St. Mary's College, Dr. Sister Mary Harriet, vice principal, Miss Yvonne Nongrum, students from the Home Science Department, dedicated teachers and other esteemed invitees. Ms. Babita Goldsmith delivered a thought-provoking talk on the significance of National Nutrition Day, shedding light on the importance of nutrition in our daily lives. In his address, Dr. Jamino Mauthaw praised the Home Science Department of St. Mary's College for taking the initiative to organize such an informative event. He emphasized the global challenge of access to proper meals and urged everyone to prioritize healthy eating and overall health to prevent illness.
We used to hear about these slogans, education for all, health for all, jobs for all, maybe even water and sanitation for all. But this is the first time I'm hearing this nutrition for all. What happened to all these slogans, to all the initiatives, to all the efforts made on the part of the government and different organizations to achieve the objectives and the goals of education, of health, and so on and so forth? I think it's a big challenge for the people of our country, for the government, for all the stakeholders. When we look at the plans, when we look at the programs, when we look at the objectives, it looks very nice. But when we talk about the implementation part, when we talk about the delivery system, I can understand that although we have achieved to a certain extent, but we have also failed miserably in many sectors. And that is the truth, and that is the irony. All these slogans. And about this nutrition for all, I'm glad that the Department of Home Science is organizing this regional workshop. I think it's extremely, extremely important. It's very important. In fact, I recalled when I was an MLA at that time, I had also taken some initiative of organizing some programs in my constituency together with the Food and Nutrition Department, because we wanted to sensitize people, we wanted to create awareness amongst the population, the different categories of the population, especially the poorer sections of the community. Because when you talk about the eating food habits, you will realize that many young children and even young adults, or even mothers, pregnant mothers, mention has been made about lactating mothers. I think we are denied of the nutritional elements that we are supposed to receive. See, when we talk about the goal of nutrition for all, we are talking about providing every individual with proper food, adequate food, proper nutrition, and so on and so forth. I think that is the challenge. I think that is the goal. Whether you talk about the initiative of the United Nations, you talk about the initiatives of the government of India also. I think that is the goal. To provide food, nutritional food, which is adequate, which is affordable to all sections of the community, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, as mentioned by Madame Babita, income level, and so on and so forth. I think all of us, we have a right, to get proper food, proper diet, and that is very, very important. But when we look at the world today, what do we see? When we look at the state of the world today, in spite of millions and millions of dollars spent on development, still we find that many nations in the world today are suffering from impoverishment. You can name countries like Ethiopia, Congo, Sudan, Yemen, and so on and so forth. So many countries in the world where a large number of the population are still malnourished. I was just Googling yesterday, and I don't know whether this figure is correct or not. 2021, there are about 2.3 billion people in this world who are malnourished. So if we have a population of 8 billion in this world, just imagine 2.3, which constitutes about 30%. I may be wrong. I think the faculty from Home Science will have a better understanding about the figures. And then if you talk about the context of our country, out of 1400 million population, I think almost 200 million population are malnourished. So you can understand that is a huge challenge. Sizable number of people are still do not have access, to proper diet, proper food, and so on and so forth. So that is why I feel that this kind of a program is very, very important. Sister has mentioned about how important that diet is for the well-being of the people. Now we talk a lot about mental health also. I remember long time back, I read in this Times magazine about the mind-body connection. What you eat also influences the way you think and your thought process. So, and vice versa. So you can understand what you eat is very, very important, especially for our young friend, students here who are budding with all kinds of activities. I think you need to get the proper nutrients, a balanced diet. I think that is very, very important. We need to put a lot of emphasis on this. Yesterday, one of my research scholar, who is still under my supervision, he's now an MCS officer, he's an assistant commissioner and also a BDO. He works in one block of this state. And he said, sir, it's very unfortunate. Yes, we have these programs of the government. But when you go to the interiors, the picture is somewhat different. Still you have these, children and then mothers who still lack, adequate food and proper nutrition. I'm not saying that the Anganwadi workers or the health workers are not very effectively working, but there's a lot of gaps, there's a lot of loopholes as far as the implementation and the delivery is concerned. So that is why there's a lot to be done in this regard. So when we talk about food, again, just to refer to Sister just now, I was asking about Sister Philomena, because I think once upon a time she was also a principal, I think she'll be around 80 or 82 now. 80. And still fit, still very active, I'm told. So I was telling Sister, I said, you should ask her, what is the secret? Because we have to know the kind of food and the kind of diet that she's, having also. I think that's important. We need to know.
On the 16th of September, workers of the Maumlo Cement Chera Limited gathered to demand urgent action from the government and factory management to address the long-standing hardships they have faced since the factory ceased operations. The workers, led by Shan Lang Dingdo, the president of the union, and Pinskem Lingdo, the secretary of the union, expressed their deep disappointment at the government's indifference to their pleas over the years. The workers have presented 3 crucial matters that they urge the government to consider, which includes payment of pending salaries, restarting the factory, and equal pay for VRS scheme. The workers' protests serve as a stark reminder of the need for the government and factory management to address the plight of these employees who have been left in a state of uncertainty and financial distress. The workers remain steadfast in their quest for justice and a resolution to their grievances.
Employees union kepada melalui organisasi MCCL government of Meghalaya. Ke agak por ke change dulu sini pak feed media tolong ban review ya ki demands kiba ni ko union ni lagu asmat ki government kabla ada pat kunju ke government kabla laju ke point ke bangi ki nomplay agak kerten jong ke mumu sira seven employees union dan duk senam arja kapra kalau duk ini senam mental arja apply dan komentar ke bah kongsange ke bangi lagu Ahmad jong sorga dibalik ke bawah plan kunju sepanjang baik tadi di poin kita di poin ke penumpang tolong hari beda ujungnya ujung pinong tadi ke beda ibat katulok ke baki nong tadi impat iyo katulok ke belum stable ke baru ke cukup ni waban tempat por hari beda bat kali ke factory nama rumah factory kan ada di sini di taruh kampak masukkan partai kami yang sesir. Tiga balai mat aku akan kena dengan poro. Kemungkinan terjadi pemerintah ni lagu yang ni kamat tu. Bahkan kemungkinan terjadi ni donkam yang saudara akan perkara ini data BRS lari kan oleh hasil skim. Apa kemungkinan terjadi kibarim ni kibat mai kuncu kini bang enjoy yang negara kecuali nama nama aktif bagai isu kedai bang kamat jom sosial kedai sosial bang ke keburung ya kan saudara kawalai no berkunjung itu bermentar oh ini begini bila kimat kini kimat tiba Asia nama Muslim ke agak katra kadusi bermentar ni kompunion ni labu asbab kalomba ka program hakabelei ba kaneka ban pentma ya ka MCCL kalau dalam kam sisia ka pengepor nama plan dan sistem ki katna spa grupo ter untuk kalau ayo service katong ki record ki bangi ko union iyo lembah ki ba jento ba kunjuru lembah ki kam ki ba ingi train hante tiang isya baga FCL tu restoran hanti belum kalau orang tu cukup yang setiap pat kunju berikan dia bak benang gua akan telur sasisian ni gua benang berpau yang ini akmal ke surga benang belum bak kunju ya kemencetan benang belum bak kunju lesing benang kecil kecil bakin wano ya kesan berkat atau teman bakin siapa yang kecil bakin benang teman yang kini FCL nak kata apa pun jom pinang play bak kunjuru ya kan pada studi berkuai. Te kawai yang belum yang government apa yang di sini kepada government kepada factory let's kam sinton production nama kepada plan kilos shutdown nadu tu jumpan jom ke Jepang COVID-19 dia cukup por nak tahu Jepang kepada factory kalau embedded katong ke Shillong jongki mesin nama kita di lari mah but kima su ban ai ke service na ke ta ke yang jongka future jongki nom dai bat kiban jadi nak tahu ni pun kilang pan kibadai yang por ha ke buram jongka manglu cerasimen every union sasisian ni appeal ya ka government kumju ya dwi ki bor ki badon hakami jong kale kesorka kumju e management kumju ni apil ya dwi ki bor ki badon ka jingkim kli na ka kalawai jong kale usia pat kumju na ka kalawai jong kala ai kam ajam ya ni ki nong dai ki badai hapo kai sora pat kumju ya setiap orang. Desa sisian ni anu bagi tipu bahan impor dari dalam session kebagerpang kebagai komen kalbu tinggi asu dari ya diwi pat impor kebadan apa ke sorga kunjuru hidup ini pelka parties kini nu isen kebadan kecil klik pat kunjuru hidup pai makin perkat akibat in ai kebi kecimun bagian sayur bagian ni be takawi iso kata kalau bagian faktor ikan yang sahih. Dengan ni nak kalian ni ngimdan tak keren nak kau ipat kalian tuai lesi yang tuai platform kita lesi kamu ni kau kena pergi berang kecil kecil kamu ni kita kalau imak kau kalian faktor pak konjuru nak bentar kajing bakri ipat harga bedai nak bantai bantam kam kaujan ni suatu bagi polisi jom sorga idon buan ki polisi kira se bantau ni kum kinam kai ibla imanti ibadon halak jom servis ka kum kepuan pak ka kum halak jom ka servis ka bagi kira kinum dan pak duit kira kanti bagi mai pak sekawi pak mata lasi kani kalau lembak apil lembak kemudian ada kuat kali kebu jom yang sesir bagi kepak biru, penjaga ikan itu kubar kemengi orang biru, bersobat, pakai penpoy, saya transport kantam, saya ke chief minister office bulan-bulan, bagi komjuru, saya duit bagi office di bawah, ya ke buan dan tentang kebiang jom, ke bawah yang jom ini yang dia posoran, bagi komjuru, ya kebiang.
The Non-Gazette Employees Association (NGEA) has issued a stern demand for their long-pending 30 months' worth of salaries, increasing frustration among the employees of the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council (GHADC). NGEA's President Shri Brathant M. Sangma expressed the deep frustration of council employees who have not received their salaries for an astounding 30 months. "We are tired and frustrated because our salaries are pending for the last 30 months, he declared. In a bold move, NGEA leaders had previously given the GHADC a deadline of September 15 to clear the pending salaries, which have been overdue for 3 decades. Regrettably, as of now, these pending salaries remained unreleased, as President Sangma confirmed. If the GHADC authorities in Meghalaya fail to release our pending salaries, we will take a different step starting from September 18th onwards, they exclaim.
Somai kurat thaya, somotan jenga district council kampu kai kampa barang onga haro district council barita na kengkeng jenga ini kanina ko chagrong acem ko ya somai ba sini plak jongada sini magawa phagapa achi asong songdong ba plak na wiya thai nak tanam kya mukhang cicing mai ko takki jangi tanggen aru mai ko takki mai ko mai jak perang ko gagen barang ko jenga ya somai ba agana thai nak tanam kya anga saksa district council kampu kai ngap paranguni jenga association ge sadonga jian NGA Non-Gazette Employee Association yang mana, ini ceng anga presiden onga, angni bimung Britain M Sangma, lebna yang disambah sungai kepang, wan NGA ni sekretari onga, general sekretari onga, ini bimung Ji momen onga, adung tam saya semua absen asong ini cenga, cengi ni kadang ko public rang nak biar tak cancinga, adung tam saya cenga batang mun semua je ko nanga Agus ni ko hari ko. Sekarang tidak biar tajam, unu pangcake tak lupa absen, biar tenak tercengang namanya, cengang Agus kalau jikon, jenis ni kan ko public nak biar tajam, aru ni kan ko cak nam jaim na, cengang mukang ci mai ko jago agen barang ko bangak biar tajam, uni gisep ko cengang, jenis CM, EM rang, gua makna cengang biar tenak ko tak kah, salci bangunan kengkeng cengang. Cina manggilirangko, agananirangko, cina kadonganirangko, cina singi nungacem, niba agan gemen kita, salci bunga dalo bataha, tiktak talong eha, uni gemen dalo nak kengkeng bacini telga perang, belman gabarang mamung ko bachingna aganani pura chakani dongja mana chini man gija chini pending salary talo ja khola chisa arani wangi ha belsi gni jasini kapangna mi ha uning man chinga salsa bat chini ne kanirang noktango songsalo bawan deke dengtang tang nangani rango chinga namen ne kanir ko salsani zaman salsa patruani ko chinga matninga uning man chini plak bisa disarang ko porat tanirang ba namen nik mancha maina uamangna namgopa jangi thangani ko namanja chani ko namanja aro mungsung moti uamangna namgopa fisrang ko school fisrang ko admission ko chinga khana gata manja chini mangni ko dor marang ko manphagin chim ongode chinga haida adita HS khaimna chini noktang ko maintain khana gata choligin chim ba manphagin chim niba taluna kengkeng ba chini dalgaparang chini mangni na mamung simsakani ko dakcha chibongana skang chingna namgopa insurance rangko pura chakani rangko ongen chim ongode chinga chini plan ko chini dakna nang pura chakani rangko chinga urang kura galemuna chinga nama muksongani ko dakna gata chanchachem aru mungin khamnako khangkuna chanchingachem ndiba dalona kengkeng ba chingna mamung insurance ko khadungani ko chini mangni nigaman chini dalgaparang mamung ko ba agana dongja beben chingko ya chibongani salchibongani andaro chingko chagni na kengkeng okama niba chingko molna sa okamaya chakchakbo ni molna sa okamaya unimen chinga chakchakade paritana kengkeng chinga chakchakna amgen chinga antangtang se wingyo unimen chinga ba chingni mangni na mai ko bari public na ba misoka gata mai ko bari chinga ba takna gata nang chomot kunok unimna chinga chini yeno kham khainga ba plakan kumongi nangrume chinga tikai do ningha unimen chinga somwaru chinga 지제 타리코 제가 제너럴 미팅 거 옹앗겐 우니 자마노 제가 전마 찬침나 제 자쿠고 가능한가 지니만 근이나 제가 우가랑코 전마 찬침을 가문하고 가겐 우니 그러면 아가나만 자다 어디 아가나미 아가나만 자야 전마니 디시노 방착기문나 제가 제 자쿠고가 지니만 근이나 강아니고 닥겐 우니 그러면 제가 야소마니 받고 사칸티난 위아팅아 하이다 지니 제너럴 미팅고 마이코 제가 찬치라 갔겐 하이다 오피스 코 토탈리 7 tahun khani ba ongna badonga unigemen sakantina advance yatinga sakantiba nanganirang donggen chimgoba chini officerna nanganirang donggen chimgoba ba somoyode jinga chini mangini na strike khani somayo ba dengtangtang agitation ko dakani somayrangode jinga mamung dakiba public na bongsong jina bongsong jinga khamrangko khayonak daman jawa unigemen sakantikon advance mongla tenga sakanten ma sakemuna chakchakpa china unigemen ya somoyo changsatai sakan hina wiatan baksa sakan tikon mulmule angni agana nikuino monatinga plakon mutela.
In a recent development in Tura on September 16, the Bajeng Doba North Garo Hills police team successfully apprehended an individual in possession of a substantial quantity of heroin. Acting on credible information, the police seized approximately 23.93 grams of heroin from the individual identified as Srimati Delina Seth Sangma, a resident of Kosi Chora near Bajeng Doba police station. The incident occurred along National Highway 51 in Bajeng Doba North Garo Hills on Saturday. In response to this alarming discovery, a case has been promptly registered at the Bajeng Doba police station, invoking the relevant provisions of the law. Authorities are actively investigating the matter to determine the source and intended use of the seized heroin, as well as any potential connections to illicit drug trafficking networks. Further updates on this case will be provided as the investigation unfolds. HYC Mautharashan Circle on September 15 uncovered a concerning situation at the picturesque Maupanlur tourist spot in the eastern West Khasi Hills district. It was revealed that non-tribal workers had been employed by a contractor to carry out various tasks, including work in the Maupanlur restaurant and swimming areas. In response to this revelation, the union swiftly took action, urging the contractor to replace the non-tribal workers. They issued a stern ultimatum of 3 days, warning that if the contractor fails to remove and replace the workers within the stipulated time, they would take matters into their own hands. This development has sparked concerns about preserving the cultural and economic interests of the local tribal community in the region.
Ni nak kaliang jong kaseng HYC Motorasian Circle ba ngiwan bon jurip mentakas ngi ka khatsan tarik jong ne benai ho ngilalap sisa ba bun ki dikhar ba wan tre hang ne ngilalap ba ka kam ka bagi tre ho kalong ka ba sok anre ki wan ra di dikhar ngi ki khasi ho ngidang la ban tre gitu ki kam ki babun ki badang la ki bun ki bu susong klik ti hayeng mdon bi kam yo jam re ki wan ra dau banabar ban tre hang ne anre ngi phak ne ka message so kontrak jong kene ka company hang ne ba un weng no ba un som ha ban weng no ekini gi dikhar mardor ban weng no ni ai por po kalais ni ban weng lam kum ta ngi kum ka seng ngin weng hi dalat ngin weng hi yakito gi dikhar gi ba u ula wan ra ngi ka seng ngi dap dag di sokhia ha bang pej ban ngi phai na kini ki suong no kum kini ki kontrak ki badon kini jing tre ki kontraktor keleng-keleng jong re si bobon ki bon ra hi tang do dikhar ngi kasi kabriu nyu trap ki khun jo kabriu nyu trap pat ngim yo kam re ngi su khmi ngi su pet kai ki to ki jing tre jong to ki dikhar kari kasi ki jong ki la ki to ki trai snong ni ki trai jaka to kam ba ki tre ki la an re kaba sngo khia ka long ba ki mon ra re ki to ki bakim ai ka jing tre ya ki to ki trai jaka an re ki won ra de ki banabar da kene ka message kum ngi kam ka seng jong ka Motorasian Circle ngi pha bat ngi pen sngo ya uni kontrak jong kene ka jingtre ke bengla wan jurip menta kesini hang ne po mo penlur ban weng ban usam ha ban weng no mardore ki dikhar ki batre to henry lam kumta ngi ka seng ngin sa weng hi gini ki message nga pha.
The highly anticipated auditions for Reboy Superstar reach an exhilarating conclusion on September 16 at the Green Image Dance Studio in Birnihat. This event witnessed an overwhelming turnout of young talents hailing from the region, each demonstrating their remarkable skills and artistry in various fields. Organized by LS Imle Productions, Reboy Superstar has been a platform for emerging talents to shine and showcase their abilities. The auditions drew aspiring performers from diverse backgrounds, from singers to dancers and everything in between. Lancius Imle, the organizer behind this grand event, expressed his excitement and gratitude towards the tremendous response from the participants. The next phase of this captivating competition is set to unfold with the quarterfinals scheduled for September 30th at the Umsning Auditorium Hall.
Ngala tristong kane pada mentas ngala yo usok ta ngala song kon kemasim lo meno ala ya kane ke bawah mentas ngina
kan belum lah bagi sedang
oh la don't try to sausan kanai mungkin mau sukat kena pernah mas
they show up in participate hang ne long show up in one in the competition kun bakat mo singi kan no tayo pi la participate
itu santio sitio no sakit.
Jadi dan ada dancing class nih di sekolah.
Oh, ada dancing class.
Do pila san.
Semua bet.
Kayu penuh POP terap san.
Ngalak mon hi naladin do musim nang penong de ngalak semua pan. Chat. Betul betul tu. Mana mereka sakit. Semua penuh kena chat. So, yan hindi naman pada kung sino mga address at ang address kila to siya betara ng duwe issue hindi na reason ba ko para sa driver mga sa kanal to kanjen basta na tayo sa pagbutan okay dan dia ako official ay yan yung jiwa yung kanya dan sedang kemudian tahu apa deh ini pun tayo mo Amud ladang ni ay lagi hidup di siya next round apan practice research mereka dan fitness timing antara kaburi kamu joksi kamu daya hap-hap terjuai apa isu plus ke expression lagi hap ke expression lagi ya kemudian masa dan practice for lagi semua istilah kedua
Kuliah di mana?
mentah kasih wan hani apa berihan ketika audition ke bakado jangan ika revoice poster te isham syaki nong mentah ke bawah mentah kasih long ki kena berasya kasap katalan habade kena luai ba kambon kinong syaki wan kasih tinggal itu syai ki kimi pa kadang katanya revoice ba kamtam ikon samla ki kena barat ki bawah mentah kanika audition jungi jangka revoice poster ya lagi we kiba lai simkhia habade ketika audition te mentang si kumbangi long baka dikasih bakado but kan next round kan long hamstring hakalai potrik bakata ngisa sedang ka quarter final kata kaselang hakalai potrik mentau benar September apa hamstring auditorium hall kaba ngisa sedang no ngaduka ka arbitration.
In an exhilarating showdown, the First Division League Football Tournament 2023, organized by the Pending Umyong District Sports Association, reached its climax on September 16. The final match, held at Dommaulum Ground in Pending Umyong Mairang, saw Mission FC and Thangmao SCC battling for the championship title in front of an enthusiastic crowd of spectators. With passionate fans cheering for their respective teams, the atmosphere was electric. The match proved to be a fierce contest with both Mission FC and Thangmao SCC displaying their strength and determination. In the end, Mission FC emerged victorious, securing a 2-1 win over their opponents. As a reward for their outstanding performance, Mission FC was bestowed with a generous prize package which included a cash prize and the prestigious champion trophy. This victory also granted Mission FC the opportunity to advance to the Super Division of the Pending Umyong District Sports Association, marking a significant achievement for the team.
Substitution for Mission Sports Club.
So viewers, with that we have come to the end of today's edition. Till we meet again, thank you for joining us.